Well, as you all know, this is a special meeting to consider the project for turf fields at DeHart Park, and I'm glad to see such a good turnout tonight on such a vital issue for this town. We're going to be, the main order of business, the main point of business tonight will be to hear a report from our consultants, and we will be specifically hearing from Mr. Dan Dietz of Clough, Harbor and Associates. Before that, we will have an introductory message from our engineer, Mr. Calby, who will give a brief timeline of the way this initiative has proceeded in this town. Then we will have the report, and then we're going to be asking questions. The Township Committee will be asking questions and having a discussion with the consultant. After that comes a very important part of this meeting, and that's when we hear from you. We'd like to give each of you who would like to speak an opportunity to do so. You can combine two functions when you get up to speak. You may ask a question of the consultants, and you may also make a statement to us. When you do that, in both instances, try to be brief. Try not to repeat what somebody else has asked or said. Keep that in mind because we have a number of people here, obviously, and we will ultimately run out of time. After that occurs, we will then engage in a discussion here amongst the members of the Township Committee. You should know that we will not be deciding this issue tonight, and that's primarily in deference to all of you, because it's a certainty that some of you will mention some things that are new, that are important, relevant, that we haven't thought about, and we want to make sure that not only do we individually take that into account, but that in discussions between ourselves, we discuss any new issues that come up. So knowing that that has always been the result of hearings such as this, we're going to defer on that. More likely than not, we will vote on this issue at our regular February 6th meeting. All right, so tonight is primarily devoted to information, providing information to us and to you, the public, and to hearing from you and to have your statements. We have, of course, all of us received numerous emails from many, many people. So many that my mailbox has gotten full at least 10 times, and it's rejected things. So anybody wants to email today, they can do it because I've just emptied it out. But it's been quite an educational process, and we've heard from a lot of people with a lot of good ideas and a lot of good information, and it's all part of the process. One of the things that's nice about being involved in this process in Maplewood is this kind of event and this kind of grassroots democracy. So let us begin then with Mr. Calby, our engineer, who will provide us with a timeline to set up this.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
There are copies of the report available if anybody.
Okay, I think we actually have a housekeeping thing too. Before that, we have a resolution that we need to pass.
Move the adoption of the bills and claims.
Second.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Humer?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Pettis?
Yes.
Mayor Profeta?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Calby.
Thank you, Mayor Profeta. This is the next step in a process that began back in April 2006 when I was asked to prepare a feasibility study for constructing synthetic turf fields at DeHart Park. That process continued on till now with numerous meetings that occurred, one in the end of April where we met with various department heads and advisory groups within the town to flush out the issues that we should consider as part of this study. Those issues then became part of a proposal that went out to consultants in terms of getting costs back and scope for completing this project. In July of 2006, we received 13 proposals of some very qualified firms. We narrowed it down to 3 companies. In August, the firm of CHA was selected and awarded a contract to prepare the study. After that award, CHA held a design charrette with representatives of the local community, the Rec Advisory Committee, Environmental Commission, municipal departments, Friends of Maplewood Recreation, governing body representatives, and the administration. The purpose of that charrette was to build a consensus for athletic field redevelopment scope, program, and alternatives. At that meeting, a preferred option was selected, but not unanimously approved due to objections and concerns about active recreation receiving more attention than passive uses. Today we'll hear from Mr. Dietz relative to their evaluation of both of those issues. The firm of CHA is an Engineering News Record Top 120 full-service engineering firm that services over 60 colleges and universities, numerous municipalities, and over 20 sportsplexes in the United States. In our local area, they have completed projects for West Point Military Academy, Randall's Island, William Patterson University, Branch Brook Park, and are currently working on the efforts at Giant Stadium. Today we have with us project manager and team leader and lead landscape designer Daniel Dietz of CHA. Mr. Dietz himself has over 20 years of experience in sports and recreation facility development. He's a registered landscape architect and certified environmental auditor. In his experience, Mr. Dietz has managed and designed athletic facilities for over 40 municipalities, schools, and private clients. With that, I give the floor to Mr. Dietz, who's going to prepare an overview of the report that was prepared and answer any questions from
Mr. Dietz, wondering if the public can't see those boards at all. Of course, we have copies of your. Wondering if you could, push them back a little if you could, and turn them more toward the audience.
There are copies of all the presentation boards in the packets that are available at the front and the back of the room.
I'd put it, get it in between if you can, so we can. If you're referring to a particular page, if we can't see that now, tell us where.
Okay. Yep. Get this around where I can. Everybody hear me on this? Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
No?
On? Yeah, it's on. Just pull it a little closer. Or else hold it right to your face.
All right, I'll keep it close. I'd like to thank Rich for that introduction. As he mentioned, CHA has been in the sports business we have a dedicated group of 30 professionals who do nothing but sports projects within CHA as a whole. And this project, our scope, I think it's important to note, was really to do a feasibility study for the conversion of a natural grass athletic field area to synthetic turf athletic field area in order to increase safety, expand the program, and end up with a enhanced park aesthetically. The plan you see before you, we believe, is a balance of meeting the needs of the park, both passive and active recreation. Even though our focus was essentially the conversion, we needed to blend the park uses together so that we weren't trashing the passive uses to put in the active uses.